Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Joe, the 50-something Dasher, and today was a disaster. That's just basically what it is. Disaster. Thank you very much. But hey, it makes for a good video. People, these gig tubing channels, people, the negativity sells. If it was all peaches and roses and everything was fine and dandy and unicorns, nobody would watch any of these videos. There has to be the crap associated with gig work and for entertainment value. Well, we got some entertainment in this video. Thank you very much. I don't know. I have to go back at some of my past videos and some of my worst days. I don't know if this would be the worst day, but this is pretty close. And with my health condition, the way it is, I don't know how I avoided getting a heart attack today. I mean, you tell me, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to make this brief, try to make this video as brief as possible. We got other things to do here, and I've already wasted enough time today. Okay, first thing in the morning, this $3 peak from clear until like 11 o'clock in the morning. So this was kind of tempting to start out in that zone, but I was like, no, let's, let other dashers chase that, and I'll just, hopefully that draws some people away to that zone, and I'll just stay here. Another thing I'll mention is today, at least here in my area, was the first snowfall. So I talked about it in yesterday's video, bring on the bad weather and everything. But see, here's the problem, is that I won't dash in just any kind of weather or what I'm not, crazy or anything. But I try to stay safe, and I preach safeties in my videos. But here's the thing: anytime your first major snowfall of a winter is when you're going to have the most accidents on the road. And I should have been prepared for this, but I wasn't. But I turn on the radio first thing this morning, and they're naming off accidents all over the city, here, there. There was like 9 major accidents, basically everywhere. North, northeast, east, northwest. I mean, all the corners. So I decided that until at least from 5 a.m. until past 9 o'clock, I'm not leaving my zone. So I'm going to let the stupid, weekday rush traffic, the school crap, all that's, and the accidents and everything, give all that time to be sorted out. And plus, it was going to stop snowing around 8, 9 o'clock anyway. So just let all that stuff, settle, and then maybe I'll go out of area. Okay. So, I didn't I didn't log in till 6. This first screenshot's when I woke up in the morning, but I did some stuff around here. I didn't log in till 6. I get $6 for 2 McDonald orders. Okay, decline. And not interested in doing any other gig work today. Sorry about that. And airplane mode. 1025 4-mile Kroger. Okay, let's go ahead and do it. And did I find those chicken tenders? Oh, okay. So yeah, they weren't. It wasn't like from the rotisserie style. It was raw. Okay, so yeah, I found this whole order, 6 minutes. Easy. You see some windshield fluid in there too, and then the food items. 639, 28 minutes for the 1075. Okay, 525, 550 tip. This going out of zone, not doing it. Decline. Uh, Upside down Starbucks to Southern Point. I consider that out of zone, at least, with everything that's going on. So decline. Wait about 12 minutes. Upside down McDonald's, out of zone, decline. Upside down Chick-fil-A, out of zone, decline. Upside down Chick-fil-A, East Side, decline. Uh, $23 TJ's and Walgreens going down to South Bloomfield, decline. One of those accidents was, I might not have had any problems getting down to South Bloomfield, but on 23 coming north was one of the accidents they mentioned, decline. And another thing too, they kept it must have taken a long time to clear each one of these, because from like 6 to 9 a.m. they kept, every time they did an accident report, they kept mentioning the same accidents. So, I don't know. 450, 6.5 mile Starbucks, decline. $4 Wendy's, decline. Another South Bloomfield Meyer, decline. And at this point, I'm thinking I'm not even going to, sniff gold today. I mean, if this is what I'm in store for here we go. This kind of raunchy, and I'm sitting at the Meyer waiting for an order. I went ahead and took this. It's a bad order, but it's all staying in zone. I obviously switched tasks here because I'm sitting at the Myers. I did that first and then went to the Wendy's. The Meyer was just a 12 pack of energy drinks. Okay, found that right away. Delivered the first, and then picked up the Wendy's. Delivered the first order at 7:36, and then 7:43, half hour for my 850. Kind of crappy, but 450, and then 2 minutes, 2 seconds on the tips. Be right back at you. I went ahead and did this. Is coming home. So I went ahead and did this, pick this. It's all staying in zone again. And I'm just buying time here, basically. So I pick this up, come back to my complex, drop that off at 8, $3, 225 tip. Okay. Right away, upside down Chick-fil-A, decline. This this was a decline. This was out of zone. 4 minutes later, here we go. 625, 3 mile Kroger. Let's do it. Normally I might not take that, but I'm taking the orders that are staying close. A 12 pack of Monster. Easy. This was right inside. I didn't walk too far into the store to find this. Easy. You see, I just, delivered, what was that, 6 minutes after walking into the store, I had this delivered. For my $3.25 and $3 tip. Okay, I'm at $30, 2.5 hours in. See what I mean? I took this. I mean, it's one of these orders. It's all staying in zone. I'm just kind of like circling the perimeter of my zone. I mean, I'm okay with it. I got whatever. There's the list, including a card game, Uno card game. I had to go across the store for that one item. Finished shopping at 8:46, and no pay screen because of the next offer coming in. So that's a pet peeve of mine. DoorDash, please fix that. I can't stand that I can't get my pay screen, and I had to look up the breakdown on this. It was $9.75, all from DoorDash. There's my tip right there. Appreciate it very much. 11.25, 10-mile Kroger. This is probably a decline. No, I took it. Um, it's going south, but we're past 9 o'clock at this time. I was okay with doing this. It was only maybe like, I want to say like 4 miles south of the Mire, so I was okay with this. Okay, there's my items. Easy, found these things for 4 minute shop. You know, pregnancy test, cran pineapple juice, and some cucumbers with ranch dressing. Done. 33 minutes for my 11.25. 8.25, $3 tip. 650, 6.5 mile Starbucks. Did that, delivered in 18 minutes for my 650, 350 and 3. This is staying in zone. 1175 Michaels. Only got to shop one thing. Let's go ahead and do it. Look at the item here. I saw this and I was like, well, I mean, my gosh, this is like a very specific thing. Are they really going to have this Jaguar art kit? I think it's for a wall in your home. But I'll say this about Michaels. I'm starting to get more comfortable with it. You see here, it says aisle 28. All the aisles are marked in there. The store is clean, well organized, easy to find stuff. Even though most stuff I don't even know what it is, but I can still find it. And they had this. They had the Jaguar art and bunch of other things, animals and designs and stuff. And it was on like a peg and it was well stocked. There's probably like 6 or 7 of these things sitting there. So I was kind of surprised. Delivered in less than a half hour for my 11.75. So $6.75, $5 tip. That works. Okay, what do we got? Yeah, let's do this. 10.50, 3-mile Aldi's, only 10 things to shop. Okay, I'm on my way to Aldi's. They stack a small. Usually these Giant Eagle pickups are pretty big. This is a tiny one, only 7 items. Hidden tip. I only got to drive 3 miles. Absolutely, I took that add-on. Okay, get to the Aldi's. I don't think I had. I didn't have any substitutions and no real problems here. It just took me 11 minutes, so that's pretty straightforward. Another add-on, $5 Kroger. This just isn't even worth bothering with for just $5, so that's a decline there. Another add-on. Okay, so this one is better. 11.75, shopping 11 things, only adding a mile. So I went ahead and took this one. So now I'm on a triple. Okay, next I get to the Giant Eagle. No wait. Checked in, the guy comes right out the door. And it's just a small order, put in my back seat, done. Now we get to the Kroger. Had to ask somebody for this right here. I never heard of this before. I don't know if it's pronounced Jarlsberg or the H is silent, Harlsberg, or however you say that. I don't know. And I don't know why it would be pictured like this, why they couldn't put a picture of what the package actually looks like. And then I had to actually like research that. It's like whoops. It's a Norwegian cheese. It's kind of like got holes in it like Swiss cheese, but it has like a buttery flavor, according to the internet. I had never heard of it before, but found that. 17-minute shop. Okay. Then delivered the Aldi's $4.50 and a $6 tip. And delivered the Kroger next. So $11.75, $5 and $6.75 tip. And then finally the Giant Eagle, $2 from DoorDash, $7 tip. So it's so an hour, let's just say an hour and 15 minutes, I made $9, and then so that's a little over 20, $30 in an hour and 15 minutes. That works. Okay. I mean, I started off bad, and then you see here the most of the dash after the start went fairly well in these good orders, and I was making good time and money and everything, staying in zone. Clear until the very end here, which I'll get to. Out of zone Pizza Cottage decline. $5 Taco Bell decline. $5 Zanzi's out of zone decline. A $25.50 Michael's going to Mount Sterling. I took this. I don't know. I was feeling confident with Michael's. It's $25. I could take, it's should get down to this drop off pretty quickly. It's, interstate and 55 mile an hour zones. I mean, I don't know. And my dash ended at 1:30 today because I had an appointment at 2:30 I needed to be to. So I figured this would, maybe this might be my last order. I get to Michael's. Here's the list. Some, various different stuff, some paper, some scissors, some ink pad, just different stuff here. I thought this was interesting. On these two items, the customer wanted pictures sent. This scissor set, there's just one of those. With that UPC, it's just one thing, and the set colors are... I don't know why you want to picture that ahead of time. I don't know. And then same with this cardboard or the card stock paper. There's just one 200 pack of 12 by 12. There's just it's one thing, and I don't know. Please send photo, need most colors, please. Whatever that means. It'd be like earlier in the dash, the monsters, the Monster Zeros, and the customer wanting a picture of that first. Well, I don't understand. Well, a 12 case of Monster Zero is a 12 case of Monster Zero. I mean, I know I'm supposed to get the Ultra Zero, the white cans. I drink that. I know what it is, and if you scan the wrong thing, the app stops you. I don't know. This was just all confusing to me, but I sent the pictures anyway, and she said okay, and, whatever. Enough about that. 7-minute shop. Okay. And delivered at 12:42. So this took, in less than an hour, I had $25.50. Okay, $20.50 from only a $5 tip. But more about that here in a minute. Okay, now I'm coming back. There it is, folks. There it is. $15.75, 11 Mile Dollar General. It's 12:48. I'm working till 1:30. I did not pay real close attention to this, but this is going to Darbydale. I've talked about that in my videos. Great. Just great. No matter where this is going, and if there's closed roads, detours, or whatever, I figure I had enough time. Okay? it's all this is candles and some tissues. Okay. Then that previous order, after I get in the Dollar General, I see this message. The customer added $5 to the tip. So that was a $10 tip, $30 order now. So that appreciate that very much. Thank you. Had this shopped in 7 minutes. I just had to substitute one of the other four candles was on an end cap. I found those. That this other one, the snickerdoodle, I checked the main candle section. I went down several different aisles and like the seasonal aisle. I looked around for this, didn't see it, and was able to do a substitution. Okay. So, GPS, I use the DoorDash GPS, and for the most part, that's worked for me. I haven't had too many issues. And going down to Darbydale, it's been good at sending me the right routes to get to these customers. That I think it was last week, that time that I got to the closed bridge and everything. That's because I didn't follow. I decided to turn off and do my own stupid route. That was on me. But had I followed the DoorDash GPS, it would have directed me there. And I feel pretty confident I'm following the GPS. This is where I follow it to, folks. The closed bridge. I don't have the time on this, but you see, I finished the shop after 1 o'clock, and I probably drove, off the main road. It was a good 4 miles to get to this. Okay? And now I got to come all the way back to 4 miles there to here and 4 miles all the way back to the main road. Thank you very much. And this is going to take too much time. Okay, I tried to get on the phone with DoorDash support as I'm turning around, and I'm if I can drop this order. Okay, this isn't my fault here. I had problems with the phone call. It's saying that I had to contact the customer and this and that. I couldn't get a resolution, and I'm trying to drive. Okay, so I, cancel all that. And I figure, well, I might still have time to make my appointment. Let me just, go this other way and I should be able to get to the customer, hopefully, whatever. So I get back on the main road and then down, I guess it's, 665 that goes to Darbydale. And I'm, at this point here, at the closed bridge, I'm only a half mile from the customer right there at that point. If that bridge had been open, I was only a half mile. Maybe I could have got out of it, pulled my car up to that sign, got out of the car, and just walked the half mile to the customer. Well, I was brave enough in the cold. But no, I just backtracked, turned around. Okay, now on this other route, I get to within about, I want to say 2.5, 3 miles of the customer, something like that. And thank you very much. I come up on a fresh car accident scene. Chewbacca! Sorry about the dog. That's just the kind of day it's been. Can't make this delivery, can't record this video. Lost my train of thought. I completely lost my train of thought. Give me a second here, folks. Okay, so I come up on this accident scene. It had just happened. That the people were getting out of their cars and they probably hadn't exchanged the information yet or whatever. The one of the cars is off to the right, off the road. The other one is like in my lane, all smashed up and everything. And I possibly could have gone in the wrong lane and drove around the wrecked car, but there was all kinds of broken up, car pieces, smashed up pieces of the car like all over that side of the road, and I just didn't want to drive over that. I don't want to risk, getting a flat tire, and it's just not worth it. I went the one way and come up to this. I turn around, I come the other way, and then I can't get through there because of an accident. This is just a doomed delivery, and I want out of it. Okay? None of this is my fault. So I turn around and contact DoorDash support. Again, I'm being told that I have to contact the customer. Okay. So I try to call, it goes to voicemail. Okay. I'm not leaving a voicemail. Okay. Another thing, now this is soon when I was on the second route, I took this screenshot. I was wondering what the actual delivery time was. And at this point, I was 6 minutes over the time already. And this is before I got up to the accident. And this is not a Grove City address, it's Darbydale. Because that's not Grove City. Got home, sent this message. Hello, I tried to call, but it went to voicemail. Can you please cancel this order on your end and replace it? Replace. I meant to say like replace the order. I don't know if that would have been possible or not. I have no idea if a customer can cancel an order after it's already been picked up or shopped. I don't know, but I thought it was worth a try. I'm able to make the delivery. GPS routed me to the closed bridge, and then I took a detour and got blocked there by a car accident. And you see here 5 minutes goes by and no response to that. And I'm not going to go on a long rant about this, but folks, I just don't get it. I don't get these DoorDash customers that place an order and then they go off the grid. Is like, or maybe they take a nap or something. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I think I'm ready for a nap. Well, let me place this DoorDash order first with 5 candles in it and box of tissues. Okay, Okay, place order done. Okay, now let's lay down in bed and go to sleep. And then when I wake up, the order will be there. I mean, is that what's going on with these unresponsive customers? They taking naps or, So then I called DoorDash. At this point, I'm home. And I only got a few minutes to be here. In this 5 minutes, I had to go to the bathroom really bad. So I did that. I took the dog out. Okay, and now I need to leave to this 1:42. My appointment is at 2:30. I need to get going here. So I called DoorDash support, and long story short, so I got an agent that he said, okay, don't worry. What's the next screenshot here? Yeah, no worries. Don't worry about it. It's okay. I'll cancel the order and then I'll send you this email. You need to return the merchandise, and I'll send you this email that has all the instructions for that, and then it'll be taken care of. I'm like, okay. So I get this email. I was gonna show it here in the video, but I feel like taking the screenshots of that and messing with it. But basically, it just said, it gave you two options. I don't know why there wasn't three options, but I'll get to that here in a second. Option one was go back to the store and try to return the merchandise. Okay, so after my appointment, I track all the way across the state of Ohio to that Dollar General and get there, and there's some kid working there that's only his second day in the store. He goes to call a manager, and the manager tells him over the phone, we can't take DoorDash orders back. Great. Okay. So there goes that. Option number two in the email was take it to to donate the order to a Goodwill or like a food bank if we're talking about food, I guess. So then I track across my zone to a Goodwill. It's probably 6 or 7 miles from the Dollar General to the Goodwill I went to. And then I dropped it off and got like a receipt. And then there's like an email that you have to send that receipt to, and supposedly it's taken care of. And if you don't do all this, within like 3 days, you get a contract violation, is what it says. And I sent the email with the receipts, and I got what looked like an automated email back that just said something like, "Thank you for your submission, and we'll get back to you if we need anything else or whatever." But I mentioned I think there should have been a third option, and that for me to just I would have preferred to avoid all the trip to the Dollar General and Goodwill and all the driving all around. Well, I would have preferred an option where if I could have just paid for the order myself. If I just charge me here, whatever it costs, I'll give you the money. I figured, my wife and I could have used the tissues, and then the candles we could have given away for, Christmas gifts to people. It's $38 is how much that order cost. I would have much rather here, DoorDash, here, I'll give you $38 my own money. I'll pay for it, and I'll deal with the stuff. Why is that not an option? And then to add insult to injury, I didn't get any kind of pay at all for any of this. I didn't get any kind of, half pay or any compensation whatsoever. I drove to that Dollar General at the time in there shopping that, and then all those wasted miles, the two different trips I tried to make to the customer. Then after my appointment, then I try clear across the state to go back to the Dollar General, and then clear across the city again to get all of that time driving. And this is what I got for all of that. So I put that in my email as well. Anyway, I gotta get off here, guys. There's my final dash summary, $131. It was 13 deliveries, drove 117 miles. That's not including the mileage after my appointment. That's just the mileage until when that DoorDash representative canceled the order. So 117 miles to that point. 7 hour and 45-minute dash, active 5 hours, 36 minutes of that. Now at 5,610 lifetime DoorDash deliveries, and I'm back into the 50s on AR somehow, some way. 51%. That doesn't make any sense to me. When I declined, you've seen in this video, I declined like 200 orders. And this is how did I go from that's insane. How did I go from 45% yesterday up to 51%? And so I don't know, guys. That doesn't make any sense at all. So that's it for this video, and we'll do this all again tomorrow. I mean, what's tomorrow going to be like? Jeez, man. As always, be sure to drive safe out there. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm sure there'll be more bad days and drama to come. And, if that's what you're looking for, subscribe, and I'm sure there will be more. Thanks again for watching, guys. Until the next video.